The hungry eye of Galactus has found the storm-ravaged world of Fortnite and has brought some of Marvel's finest to the fight, along with some hidden secrets as well. There have been a lot of guest skins and events in the popular shooter that spans from computers to consoles to people's phones. Well, now Korg's favorite game features some of Korg's favorite people as the Marvel Universe has burst into the world. As one can expect, this means some hidden and not so hidden nods to the comics sprinkled throughout the game. Let's see what's been found so far. Marvel characters appearing in Season 4 of Fortnite aren't just a bunch of looks that the player can wear while they fight it out on the stormy hills of Fortnite. They're the actual Marvel characters, and it turns out when we say actual, we mean the ones in the comics. Yeah, that's right, Season 4 is canon. Once upon a time, a speedster from the Distinguished Competition skipped through time and space and teamed up with a different version of himself, and the idea of the comic book Multiverse was born. Since then, that device has been used in comic books and movies alike to reconcile characters appearing in different forms and mediums under one umbrella of fractured continuity. That's meant that things like the MCU have taken place in Universe 199999, while the regular comic continuity is labeled 616. So, which reality is Fortnite Season 4? 616, it turns out. Right now in the Marvel Universe, the God of Thunder Thor has agreed to become a Herald of Galactus in order to ward off any imposing galactic threat that only a fully fed Galactus can deal with. Thanks to a free digital crossover comic from Marvel, we find out how this quest ended up landing the white-haired Herald of Thunder, and some of his superhero pals ended up in the domain of Noob Master 69. That kid had better look out now. We were all definitely not ready for a world without Chadwick Boseman. The actor who had made a name for himself playing important historical figures from Jackie Robinson to Thurgood Marshall reached global fame, bringing Marvel's King of Wakanda to life in the Black Panther. With only one record-breaking and barrier-shattering solo movie and 3 appearances in other Avengers movies, Boseman's talents left a deep impression in a universe that was already filled with iconic performances. Boseman's untimely passing caught the world off guard. It also has turned a planned piece of decoration into a place for players of the game to pay their respects to our fallen superhero. Just to the left of the Misty Meadows is a statue of Bast, the panther god who, according to legend, gave the people of Wakanda the heart-shaped herb and the power of the Black Panther to defend Wakanda and its exclusive supply of vibranium. The statue, called Panther's Prowl, was in the 3rd wave of updates for the game, along with other teases for Marvel characters and the encroaching dread of Galactus himself. Since the story of the Marvel Fortnite crossover is the Nexus War, and Thor is at the center of the story that crosses over, it stands to reason that Thor is at the gooey center of this crossover Tootsie Roll. It's even Lady Sif that opens the Bifrost and sends Thor some reinforcements, leaving the burn marks for the Bifrost in the game to mark where the heroes arrived in the world of Fortnite. One of the ideas for Fortnite as a game was to combine the building elements of games like Minecraft to the open-world shooter games. This has meant that players have been able to mix and match elements in creative ways that's given the game depth and playability that's kept it popular. But Thor has a weapon that not just anybody can use. Mjolnir, the world's judgiest hammer, follows Thor into the world of Fortnite. Wielded here by YouTuber The Extreme Guy, but unlike the other tools and weapons, Mjolnir only does its things for those it deems worthy. As one can imagine, Fortnite is not full of worthy souls for Mjolnir. When the unworthy try to wield Mjolnir, it turns into a regular pickaxe. But that doesn't mean that Thor is the only one in the game that can hammer in the morning, evening, and all over the land. As we confirmed in one of the best moments of a movie that was all best moments, Avengers Endgame, a certain Captain America is also worthy of Mjolnir, and that worthiness carries over to Captain America in Fortnite as well. Ah yeah, baby. Assemble. We got a squad battle to win. Lady Sif didn't have a lot of time to handpick the heroes and villains that ended up duking it out in Fortnite, but she did manage a wide cross-section. Joining Thor are fellow Avengers like Iron Man and Captain America, as well as others. But all new to the crossover is the mutant end of the Marvel Universe, including stalwarts like Wolverine, Psylocke, Domino, Cable, and Storm. Cable probably feels right at home. If it weren't for the apparent memory loss, Storm could probably help with Fortnite's Poison Storm problem. Oh well. Mystique makes the cut as well in the battle world. Even without her powers, Mystique is not somebody you want to mess with, so she's gonna do fine in the Fortnite fighting world. Which is good, because her powers really do bend towards the more subtle. In a world where everyone's the enemy in one way or another, it really doesn't matter if there's a guy in a ski mask or a giant banana. An enemy's an enemy. As YouTuber TG Plays shows us, Mystique's ability to look like anyone might not seem as useful. That is, except for some epic gloating. Most of the powers for the Marvel characters come in the form of emotes, including Mystique, who can temporarily transform into the character she just killed, including the bots. There are a lot of people you can turn to if you're in trouble in the Marvel Universe. People that can help you in more ways than just punching a supervillain really hard. Because not every superhero can live off the money that comes from having a big brain like Reed Richards or Tony Stark. Some of them have non-super science day jobs. Like Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk. While She-Hulk can smash, she can also file an amicus brief. I don't exactly know what that is, but Walters does, because she is also a lawyer. Demonstrated here by YouTuber Gadu. On Retail Row's trendy west side, the west side is the trendy part of a town, right? You can find the law offices of one Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk. This raises an interesting question. Was Walters brought here by Sif? When did she set up her office? Is there another Walters in the Fortnite world? It's a world where someone in a banana suit participates in massive battles while being airdropped onto islands, so, anything goes. By now, most people know that being the Hulk is a chromatic affair. Hulk had started gray before. For printing reasons, he became the mean green smashing machine that we know and love. Since then, the green and gray Hulks have emerged as different Hulk personalities. But it doesn't just stop there. At some point, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the Hulk's most determined adversary, adopted a "if you can't beat him, join him" philosophy when it comes to the Hulk, and subjected himself to some gamma experimentation, transforming himself into the Red Hulk. Not satisfied with that, when his daughter and former Banner girlfriend Betty Ross died, old Thunderbolt approached the leader and MODOK to bring her back to life and get her own gamma treatment, turning her into the Red She-Hulk. Betty Ross isn't in Fortnite, but if you follow the steps outlined by Epic partner YouTuber AFK Bin and use the code, you can give Walters the Red Hulk makeover that also gives Walters herself a new look. Now, here's a bit of a confession. Regardless of how fun it is to play a game like Fortnite, some of us are just bullet bait. That doesn't mean that we can't find a few fun things to do between running diagonally along a wall and getting taken out by a snarky 12-year-old that we didn't even know was there. The Fortnite landscape is notable for your ability to interact with it and change it, mostly through smashing things and hastily building other things. One of the parts of the Marvel world that's made its way to Fortnite Season 4 is the Sentinels. The Sentinels were Trask Industries' answer to what they consider the mutant problem: giant robots. Trask's answer to the mutant threat was giant robots. It wasn't a perfect solution. Following YouTuber Brad TN, just outside the Dirty Docks, you can find a handful of fallen Sentinels littering the countryside. While the Sentinels appear defunct, their hand blasters are at least a little operative, so that when you land on them, they'll launch you into the air. With a little careful planning, you can actually ride that boost from one blaster to the other in an infinite loop of jumping fun. That is, until that 12-year-old you didn't see takes you out again. Trask's giant robot mutant solution isn't the only remnant of the anti-mutant industry that has made it to Fortnite. Trask Industries had to do something with all those rogue mutants that it captures. We got a good look at how Trask would handle prisoner transport when your prisoner has mutant powers: the armored prisoner carrier in Deadpool 2. That transport had a special passenger inside it, even though he wasn't technically a mutant. Instead, it was Charles Xavier's stepbrother Kane Marco, the Juggernaut. While the unstoppable wrecking machine is nowhere to be seen in Fortnite, there is a Trask prisoner transport truck just hanging out in the woods by the homely hills like someone's restoration project they'll never get to. As of this moment, there hasn't been anything to pop out of that truck, but you never know. Not everything is in one of Fortnite's POI, or points of interest. There are some treasures to be had while you mill about waiting for the game to start. Since a big component of Fortnite is its massive multiplayer gameplay, there's that inevitable wait time while all the players are assembled for a round of pure mayhem. and that is where the lobby comes in. For some games, that's just a boring screen with a progress bar that's full of lies. But for Fortnite, you get to mill about with the other players in a lobby with limited interaction before the skybus drops you into the chaos, like YouTuber Pack-a-Puncher. For Season 4, that lobby is a complete recreation of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s floating fortress, the Helicarrier. This Helicarrier is a replica of the one seen in the Avengers movie, and you can move all about the giant craft while you wait. There are plenty of things to find, too. There's a vault with a lock that suggests that at some point the Helicarrier might be a playable space. The Helicarrier also acts as Spawn Island and the hideout, where a little exploring can unearth a garbled message from the command console. Is it a warning from Galactus? A member of S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to reach the base? Just a fun little bit of audio while mucking about in the Helicarrier set? Whatever it is, we'll know soon enough. One of the best ways to know what's in store for the coming chapters is by looking at the many achievements that come with each new version of the game. Just like you can't have Galactus without his heralds like Silver Surfer who's joined the fray, Galactus is also tied to the Fantastic Four. If you take out an opponent with a harvesting tool, you unlock the It's Clobberin' Time legacy achievement. It's Clobberin' Time, of course, is the battle cry of Ben Grimm, the Thing from the Fantastic Four. He's not the only member of Marvel's first family to get an achievement shoutout. Taking out an opponent with a flare will award you the Flame On achievement, what Johnny Storm has been known to say before becoming the Human Torch. But the one that has most people excited for, of course, is the Thwip achievement. Thwip, of course, is the chosen onomatopoeia for Spider-Man's web shooters. If that wasn't enough, the achievement has the Spidey logo. That's not the only sign that the web slinger is swinging his way into Fortnite. And the former headquarters of the Authority, things are looking kind of bleak. But there's something that's not normally seen outside of Halloween events, and that is cobwebs. How much do you think New Yorkers pay in cleaning up spiderweb residue? Some hints are bigger than others. An achievement in spiderwebs seem like a pretty big hint that Spider-Man might make his way to the game, but there are some hints that are so small they might not even be hints at all. Back at the graveyard of fallen sentinels in one of the buildings they've damaged, there's a new item placed in one of the buildings that's so small you might miss it. On one of the dressers is a pair of sunglasses. Under any normal circumstances, a pair of sunglasses might not be that big of a deal, but the superhero world is full of important eyewear. In Spider-Man Far From Home, a pair of glasses gave Peter Parker access to a world of Tony Stark tech that he perhaps was not ready to use quite yet. No matter the good-hearted intentions, maybe giving a teenager access to a death satellite might not be the best idea. But there's a more Sentinel-related character that also has a pair of distinct eyewear. Scott Summers, oftentimes leader of the X-Men and General Boy Scout foil to Wolverine's bad boy, gets his power by shooting beams of energy out of his eyes. However you describe it, it's an always-on power, so to make sure Scott isn't constantly disintegrating everything he looks at, he has a special pair of ruby quartz sunglasses that stops the beam in its tracks. Is it a sign of Scott being somewhere in the game? Are they Parker's Edith glasses? Are they just there to mess with us? Only time will tell. Here's one that's less hidden and more of a mystery. There aren't just bad guys that made their way to Fortnite. There is the bad guy. At least the Earth-based bad guy. Former Reed Richards partner and leader of the country of Latveria, Dr. Victor Von Doom has joined the fray, including his own place of interest. Naturally, players have gone over that place with a fine-tooth pickaxe looking for anything the Master of Mysticism and Technology might have, and one thing they've found is a locked crate with Dr. Doom's logo on it. Crates don't generally have a single character's logo or theme, so it raises some exciting possibilities for when that crate finally gets unlocked. The Authority isn't the only abandoned space that has been taken over by Marvel characters that have come to Fortnite. In the dead center of the map is Island, where Crackshot's cabin resides. Crackshot apparently has moved out, but the place seems to have a new resident. Tony Stark isn't one to just sit around and take in the sights. Even in the MCU, Stark backed out of every retirement he tried, and he tried to do that a lot. When Thanos won and Stark rage quit the superhero life, he still went straight to work building his wife her own power suit. When his suit stranded him in a garage, he turned that garage into his own workshop. Turns out in Fortnite, Stark's back to his old tricks, having turned Crackshot's cabin into a workshop. What does he have cooked up for the world of Fortnite? Maybe a way home? A combination hot dog toaster and bun steamer? Frankly, the possibilities are endless. The sky in Fortnite traditionally has been nothing but bad news. The entire premise of the game is a world that is ravaged by a killer storm that covers most of the planet, and the savage places that the storm hasn't quite hit yet. In the Battle Royale mode, that storm is even more pressing, as it slowly encroaches on the battle space, making it smaller and smaller, much to the chagrin of players stuck running at an angle along the wall waiting for a 12-year-old to shoot them. But there is an extra menace in the air for Fortnite Season 4, something no planet in any Marvel universe wants to see: the coming of the Devourer of Planets himself, Galactus. Galactus, of course, is the reason for the season. As you remember, the Nexus Wars is a tie-in to the current Black Winter storyline, which has Thor acting as a Herald of Galactus. The Herald's job is to find tasty planets for Galactus to snack on, so Galactus appearing in the skies above Fortnite is just bad news on top of bad news for the world of Fortnite. There might be an unwritten rule that no matter who the character is, if there is a baby version of it, that will become our instant favorite. Generations have grown up on the grammatically awkward advice of Yoda from Star Wars, but the wordless little creature in The Mandalorian dubbed Baby Yoda has captured our hearts. Similarly, while Groot's one-line vocabulary and enthusiasm for the job in the first Guardians of the Galaxy was a crowd favorite, adult Groot had nothing on Baby Groot and his need to dance, regardless of Drax's approval. For those with a sharp eye and some patience, tucked into the garden center in holly hedges is the little baby sapling Groot that you can rescue, though some players have found the task more difficult than it sounds. Certainly isn't in this wall that I've been sliding along. Well, that's some of the Easter eggs and special features from Fortnite's Season 4 crossover with Marvel. What are your favorites? What have you found? Which one of you keeps shooting me? Well, let us know in the comments, and while you're there, why not subscribe to CBR for the latest content in your inbox? Thanks a lot for watching.